Mustang Morning News is a public forum for student expression. Students make all content decisions, and opinions do not necessarily represent those of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District.
With deportation crackdowns and shifting immigration policies, we uncover how these changes are reshaping daily life for local immigrants and in school classrooms.
Holidays used to be about culture and traditions. Now they're about cash. What's changed?
And at Costa, a wave of new students transfers is shaking up the world of no tryout sports with rosters filling up fast. Are players resistant to change or being left on the sidelines?
Welcome to the Mustang Morning News. I'm Raquel Bowen.
And I'm Gordon Jonas.
These stories and a new Costa Quiz are just ahead. In 2 months, President Trump has deported 13,500 people as part of his pledge to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. Anya Kapoor and Luna Flores talk with both documented and undocumented immigrants about how the administration's plans have turned their lives upside down.
High school is stressful enough without having to worry about losing your parents.
That was the one stress factor that I had, was like, what am I gonna do? Either I'm gonna have to move with them to India and completely relearn everything.
Shahashra's parents live in the U.S. legally on a work visa, but if they lose their jobs, there's the possibility of her parents having to leave. In the U.S., about 31 million people are on work visas and 18 million children have at least one immigrant parent. President Trump has vowed to deport millions of immigrants in the U.S.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
Many immigrants we tried to speak to on this topic turned down interviews for the concern of their safety.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question.
I just want to finish high school.
One immigrant we interviewed described feeling scared for my family to be taken apart or to lose my home and my life here. Someone we spoke to who is an immigrant but now is a fully U.S. citizen feels
sad for them, because I know how it was for me growing up, kind of being scared of being found out.
What many people don't know or realize is how long and difficult the process of becoming a citizen in the U.S. is.
The only way that I could do it was to get married, which was really unbelievable.
Statistics shows that it takes 1 to 2 years to get a green card or citizenship in the U.S., but Danielle had to wait 27 years for citizenship and Sahasra's parents 17 years for their green card. Sahasra still worries about if her parents lose their job with their work visa.
I was so scared. That was my biggest fear. I was sleeping every night, ooh, no.
If you are an immigrant and are approached by an agency, immigrants' right experts recommend that you don't need to say anything or speak to anything. You do not have to let them into your home or car without a warrant signed by a judge. You also have the right to see an attorney. For more legal resources about immigration, visit the Mustang Morning News website. This is Luna Flores and Anya Kapoor for the Mustang Morning News.
This time of the year means March Madness, but the odds of betting on the right champion are shockingly slim. If you have money on this year's bracket or just playing for bragging rights, you'll want to play today's quiz.
Go to our Instagram and visit @Mustang Morning News and respond with your name and the answer to today's question for a chance to win a shout out from our account.
Here's today's question. What is the chance of creating a perfect March Madness bracket using your intuition? Is it A, 1 in 658 million, B, 1 in 120 billion, C, 1 in 5 trillion, or D, 1 in 202 trillion?
Think you know the answer? Submit it through the response box on our Instagram story now.
Public schools guarantee a spot for everyone, including immigrants. But with ICE deportations at their highest since 2014, fear is making its way into the classrooms, affecting the immigrants we talked to in the previous story. How are teachers and administrators protecting students while following the law? McKenna King and Emma Gordon investigate.
In the United States, every child has the right to a public K-12 education, regardless of immigration status. However, immigration enforcement policies and school responsibilities can create uncertainty for students, teachers, and administrators. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, is responsible for enforcing immigration laws, including conducting operations to detain individuals without legal status. Public schools must comply with federal and state laws, which include ensuring access to education for all students, but at the same time, they are required to follow privacy laws, such as the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, which protects students' information from being disclosed without consent.
Student information is considered confidential and private. The only reason that a school would need to comply with any orders through, law enforcement or ICE is if there's parental consent or judicial warrants.
According to California Attorney General Rob Bonta, school officials are not required to allow immigration agents to enter schools without judicial warrant, according to recent guidance.
Yeah, I have a lot of immigrant friends. One of them actually already moved back to this country. His parents were worried about the Trump administration already.
Teachers have the responsibility to provide equal education and to follow school policies regarding student safety and privacy, while administrators must comply with federal and state laws while determining appropriate policies for their schools. As immigration policies change, schools must balance the law with also trying to create a safe place for all students to learn. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Emma Gordon and McKenna King.
Love, luck, and luxury spending. Holidays like Valentine's Day, Cinco de Mayo, and St. Patrick's Day began as ways to celebrate a historical event or figure, but have become an excuse to party and for businesses to profit as holiday spending last November and December reached $1 trillion in the U.S. From love-themed chocolates to green beer, Emery Gregory and Piper Mendel uncover how retailers turn celebrations into spending sprees.
Holidays should be filled with the sound of family and friends, but increasingly they are filled with the sounds of cash registers ringing. While these celebrations have deep and historical roots, they have evolved into money-making operations for businesses. This Valentine's Day, for example, Americans spent $27.5 billion, and Cinco de Mayo, which celebrates the Battle of Puebla in 1862, has become one of the top money-making days for bars and restaurants.
Yeah, we have a really big showing for both days. Our clientele and demographic both really like those holidays, and we get a lot of entertainment set up for them. We have specialty beer releases, but in general, it's just the busiest days of the year.
On St. Patrick's Day, many will purchase green beer and shamrock-shaped cookies, but forget they're celebrating St. Patrick, a patron of Ireland who came to Ireland to convert the Irish people to Christianity. Today, we honor him on his death of March 17th. As the commercial influence of holidays continues to expand, it becomes a reminder of how tradition and consumerism can coexist, often shaping how holidays are experienced and remembered. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Piper Mundell and Emery Gregory.
Think you have the winning bracket for March Madness? Here's the answer for today's Costa Quiz and your odds of predicting a perfect bracket.
The question was, what is the chance of creating a perfect March Madness bracket using your intuition? The answer is B, 1 in 120 billion. You're 100 times more likely to be eaten by a shark than completely predict the tournament. Want to learn more about some other shocking numbers? Watch our new segment, What Are the Odds, on Instagram today.
Playing in March Madness. An influx of Pali students is reshaping our sports teams as they're automatically placed on rosters under the school's no tryout policy for displaced athletes. Ana Clara Suarez and Bryn Berry report on how this shift impacts both the new athletes and their team's dynamic.
In the wake of the fires in Southern California, over 120 displaced students have transferred to Mira Costa. The transition hasn't been easy, but one of the biggest changes has been in the school's athletic programs. Of the 120 plus new students, 40 to 50 have joined Mira Costa's sports teams. Unlike typical transfers, they were allowed to join without going through the usual tryout process. But how has this affected athletes and team strategies?
I think we have enough matches and sets that we can still get enough reps and time for everybody. We've had a big team in the past which wasn't that successful, but we learned from it, so we can improve on those methods and get better from it.
The new athletes are making an impact both on and off the field. They have been able to find their place in the Mira Costa community as they adjust to their new surroundings.
The team has been really nice. All the guys are really welcoming and they're really funny to be around.
It's a lot more competitive and there's a lot more opportunities for teams here. The team's been very inviting and I love all the guys.
At Mira Costa Sports, it's much more inclusive and everyone's much more friendly and it's at a higher level.
Next year, the transfer students will have to go through the usual tryout process. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Ana Clara Suarez and Bryn Berry.
That's all for today's show. Make sure to check out all of our other content on Instagram at Mustang Marine News.
Thanks for watching, Mustangs. We'll see you next time on a special Tuesday show, April 8th.